What are we going to do this time? I am going to talk about an important document that was just made public by a reliable source. It shows how 80% of Japanese banks are connected to Ripple's network. Since they're part of Ripple's network, why is that so big? How much do we know about SBI, their 62 banks, and Codium? Japan really likes XRP, so we'll get right to it. Monica will also be here. The DTC Ripple XRP chain link is what we'll talk about. Adieu, we need to talk about a lot more. People should take a break, sit down, and enjoy the show. The price of Bitcoin has gone up 31% in the last day to $71.90. The price of Ethereum has now reached 3,853. It's up 1.47% against the dollar. People know that the money has stayed the same when the peg hits 99. I put in a coin and don't know where it is. It has gone into that, even though I haven't really looked through these things. It has changed. It will be interesting to see what happens because it's likely to turn back into Bitcoin since XRP is selling at a mean of about 52 cents right now. Yesterday, it didn't get to 53 cents like we had hoped. What are you going to do, people? We will get, I promise, that out of the $2 trillion or $671 billion market cap for cryptocurrencies, we want to get 75 cents, which is why Bitcoin, you know that the area of resistance is at 74,000. Where will it go from here? If it breaks, the parabolic bull run will start. It's like nothing you've ever seen. I believe it does go up a little, but I don't think we'll be able to cover all 74 areas, or at least 74,000. At this point, I do think there will be a small pullback, maybe not all the way up to 60,000. I think that will be the last escape after that takes place. We'll note that. It turns out that I was pretty right when I said that the $74,000 range would be broken. Watch to see what happens. We are not joking around. At this point, XRP goes down to Monday, 2020. It's going strong. The Riverside crew can be found at 8B70. That's it. A short movie. This is not a scene for Money 202020. It's called Money's Event. I thought the name would be changed to 2020. Yes, Money 20 to 24, Money 20 to 23. But no, this is Monica in 2020. It's still money. She said, long, the catch was pretty good. Here is Jean Cable, a tech reporter for CNBC who lives in beautiful Amsterdam. She is talking about Ripple's growth, including how our custodial customers and companies want to tokenize more real-world assets for the stablecoin market. Let's begin. Take a moment to listen. As usual, I pulled this up for you, even though it might have done so before I did. It's an ad. I am sorry. It's early. Have you heard that institutions are becoming a little more interested in the space? I think we can expect a lot more now that the ETF has been allowed in the US. BlackRock has been the 800-pound gorilla. When the ETF was approved, it sparked institutional interest in the area. It seemed like a turning point, and the idea of institutional investment entering the Bitcoin space was talked about a lot. What exactly do we begin with? Are some stronger companies starting to show an interest in getting into this game through ETFs? Take a look at it very carefully through the tokenization of real assets and ETFs. That's what our custody customers tell us. You talked about the ETF. How are big banks like SocGen leading the way in tokenizing different types of securities assets like stocks and bonds? What do you think this will do to things? Will it be as important as Bitcoin? The market capitalization is smaller, and institutional and individual investors may not know as much about it. However, it is still the second biggest. I think you already know that more people are learning about the Bitcoin market and what's going on in it. There are more tales and stories about the activity ecosystem that is being built on top of Ethereum. We can wait and see what happens. Yes, I'd like to change the subject from the markets to this great reaction. We'll pick a few more of these to talk about in the next movie. Don't worry, we'll get right to this and today's talk about tokenization. Nadine from the DTCC talks about how smart tokens can help with Know Your Customer KYC and anti-money laundering AML rules. This is because DTCC digital assets will clean up the whole market for tokenized stocks. This person just said that these guys are likely a little more optimistic. I have been there for 6 years though, and I'm a little behind schedule. But the market as a whole is 1.4 quadratic across all asset classes, and you can see that they're all starting to move up the chain. Also, we've seen how interested people are in the money market, tokenized treasuries, and other similar products, as well as how stablecoins can be used instead of cash. It would only take one of them to go fully digital, which would bring in trillions of dollars in other assets all by itself. Because of this, I think we might be able to see and think about tens of trillions. 1.4 is a quadrillion. In reality, this is only a small part of the huge market. Take a look at this. On ARK's 30 to 50 trillion XRP are bought and sold. $50 billion in 2 years. Moving forward, Ripple Twitter wants to do it again in about 2 years. We've only been playing for a few months so far, 50 trillion, but the DTCC knows that they are also connected by way of a chain link. Chain link is one of these kinds of online tools. It's going to go, so if you put $5,000 into this and did a 10x, you would get $50,000 back. In my heart, I really believe that this will happen. We'll keep going. Jim Cramer, thanks for letting people know about Gary Gensler and the SEC's losses. Everyone looks at Cramer. Does anyone have cash on hand? We don't know. There is a Cramer coin, but there shouldn't be one. I hope it got registered properly. I didn't want to talk about it because it works like a wild Cramer coin or a pumping gun right now. I had no plans to talk about anything with you. Hold on, Gore. We are almost out of time to ask Ripple Labs questions. What do you want to ask them? That's it. I was allowed to speak. Thanks. Did you know I used to text all KR? What makes me think that Cramer will get a little push in the form of a case about the Kerr coin? It's always a good idea to tell CNBC that he lost the Wall Street case against Ripple. After that, we get this. This is important, people. This is where it starts. Allow me to show you. Which person was the first to talk to Dora? Is everything okay at MFR University? They keep study papers, and the paper that shows up suggests that they have done some pretty good research. We can see that this is being called back here. An introduction to big data and blockchain banking shows how it came to be. Big data has had a positive effect on many fields, such as banks, shopping, politics, and law enforcement. It also has a big effect on how data will be analyzed in the future. Wonderful, okay, isn't that true? I know you don't have to tell me yet. But let's read on to find out. Are we here to learn something from their research? That's good to know. The Bank of Dubai uses national blockchain technology in its check security system, and more than 60 Japanese banks, which is 80% of the Japanese, do the same. In order to compete with SWIFT, banks have teamed up with Ripple to make it possible for UK residents to send money to other countries more quickly. Santing created the modern Ripplex protocol, which lets people send up to $10,000 to each other internationally. The Bank of England wants to speed up payments and money transfers by adding RTGS, which stands for Real-Time Gross Settlement System. Hey there, you speak for 80% of Japanese banks. Do you really think they won't use on-demand cash and XRP to pay those people right away? As for the foreign workers who work in those nearby countries for very little money, yes, they are. When it all hits people in the face, this price will do something you've never seen it do before. It will happen in 2025. I can tell you that.